Greetings, family and friends. I hope all is well in your world as it is in mine. This is Jamal Ali of African Lifestyle coming to you live in the flesh from Atlanta, Georgia. It's hot as hell here in Atlanta. Has been for the last couple of weeks in the 90s. You know, the humidity is just crazy. But life is good. Life is good. You know, I was on YouTube the other day just looking at some videos, and I kept coming across these videos about what's going on the African continent, all the corruption. And one of the things that kept coming up in a lot of the comments in the news feeds was the divide and conquer, divide and rule, right? Which is a tactic that is very, very, very successful. And therefore it is used over and over and over again to control people. So, but typically, as African Americans, we tend to keep that or look at that as something that is happening just amongst us. How we are so divided and therefore conquered or therefore ruled. But no, this is a strategy that's used throughout the world. You see, whether you're European, whether you're Asian, I don't care if you're in China, Korea, Japan, if you're in Australia, if you're in Ireland, if you're in Britain, it doesn't matter. The strategy is used. See, white folks are a part of the process. The Asians are a part of the process. They are also divided and conquered. Everybody has to be divided and conquered in order for this thing to work. You see? So, you know, white folks will say, that's what the African Americans, I don't care nothing about them. The Chinese would say, that's what African Americans, I don't care nothing about. That's what Africans, I don't care nothing about them. The Australians say, that's an African problem, I don't care nothing about them. The Hispanics say, that's an African problem, I don't care nothing about them. See, that's part of the problem. They don't care because they don't see themselves as part of the solution, because they've been divided against us, as has everybody. And so they don't see themselves as part of the solution. So here's my point. If people around the world, citizens around the world, wake up. We keep hearing say, wake up, black folks, wake up, black folks. Yes, we need to wake up. But guess what? So does everybody else. Everybody else is asleep too. And I know as Africans and African Americans, we don't want to hear that. Well, I don't care about them. Again, getting back to the issue, everybody's divided and conquered. So imagine if Brazilians, any other people of the planet, Australians, Europeans, you know, Mexicans, woke up and say, you know what's going on with these African Americans and how they're treating Africans in the world, how they're treating black people in the world. That is not cool. We can't stand for that. When they do that to them, they're also doing it to me. Imagine if they had this type of attitude and this type of mindset, you see? So what if, you see, in order for China to control its Chinese population, there's divide and conquer. There's divide and rule that's going on there, right? So I'm just simply saying, as citizens of the world, as people of the world, when we come to understand that we, as a people, as a humanity, can come together and make some changes in the way that the world is run. We can make a difference if we come together based on our humanity and not allow ourselves to be separated based on color of the skin. See, as African Americans, look, it's too many of them. We can't fight them all. We need alliances. We need the Europeans to be our alliance. We need the Asians to be in alliance with us. We need all people of the world to be in alliance with us to have a fighting chance, because there's too many of them. Everybody is pitted against the black folk, pitted against the African and the African Americans. We can't fight them all. But we had some alliances of other people who looked at me as a human being, not 3/5 of, but 100% human being. And they realized that the fact that they're human being, then they have a human obligation to have my back, to be in alliance with me against this foolishness. So it's not just about African Americans being divided and conquered. Yes, we are. It's not just about African Americans being divided and ruled. Everybody on the planet falls under this strategy. This is how they keep control. So everybody has to wake up, not just African Americans. Listen, if every African American is only, what they say, 44 million, I'm sorry. Could be more, probably is. But if every one of us woke up, we couldn't make a difference. We awake, but we still don't have resources. We don't have our own army. You see? At some point in time, we're going to have to fight, man. We're going to have to fight if it's just us. So what do we have to fight with? Nothing. So we can't even fight from a physical standpoint. I mean, in terms of just going to war, because guess what? We don't produce any arms. We don't make any guns. We don't make any bullets. We don't make any knives. Where the hell are we going to get them from? So if we started fighting white folk, if we want to just put it right there, physically out in the streets, right? It won't be long. They just cut off the ammunition. Then they just wait us out. After you shoot your last bullet and that, then we coming to get y'all. So it's not about trying to fight them in that particular way. We have to raise the consciousness. We have to raise our consciousness individually, and then raise our consciousness collectively, and then let that momentum spread throughout the world. And so that more and more people are becoming conscious of who they are and how they're being used against the rest of humanity. This is the only chance that we have. That's why it's world domination. They don't just dominate here, here, and here, and here. It has to be everywhere in order for this thing to work. And so to undo that, we have to be all-inclusive as well. We have to get like-minded thinkers. And thinking has no color, no culture, no language, none of that. Thinking along the same lines to solve the same problem of divide and conquer, racism, institutionalism, capitalism. All these things can be erased, if not erased, at least changed to the point where it's beneficial. Racism certainly needs to be eradicated, but it's not. That's just the world that we live in. Again, though, if we get more and more educated people, educated consciously to understand their duty as a human being, to come to the aid of another human being when he or she needs their aid. See, when we live in that kind of world, then the powers that be will be a little bit different in the way that they use their power, because there is strength in numbers. There are more of us who are being divided and conquered than those who are doing the dividing and the conquering. So, just to wrap up, it's my point is simple. Everybody is divided and conquered, not just African and African Americans. And as African and African Americans, we tend to think, we just look within our own little communities and say, hey, we're divided, therefore we're conquered. And we don't look to the rest of the world and say, so are they. And if we could come together and work together, it doesn't take all of us. It doesn't take everybody. There's 7 billion people on the planet. Well, 7 billion of us don't have to come together. Maybe 1 billion Just 1 billion moving in one voice, one unit, one direction, with one mission could impact the world in a tremendous way. And then we get enough momentum, then we got a couple billion, then we got 3 billion. Maybe get to the point we got 500 million people on the planet saying enough is enough. Stop the bullshit. We're not taking it anymore. I'm awake and I'm ready to do something about it. This foolishness that's going on in the world. No more division, no more conquering, no more ruling. I'm going to treat my African Americans and my Africans just the way I treat the Europeans, just the way I treat my Hispanic brother and sister, just the way I treat my Asian brother and sister. I'm going to treat them with love and dignity, respect. See, when we get to that kind of consciousness, see, it's all about consciousness. This is the problem amongst humanity. Our consciousness is so low that we can be controlled, we can be divided and conquered. So we got to raise the consciousness of us all in order for us to survive this madness. Otherwise, things are gonna continue, and you're gonna get more of the same. So anyway, I know you all gonna weigh in. Everybody's gonna have their different opinion, and that's fine. That's the world we live in. But listen, I'm not looking for approval. You know, I don't need to be what's the word here? I don't need any justification. I don't need any affirmation. I don't need any of that. You see, because this is where I'm coming from, wholeheartedly. And guess what? A lot of people gonna resonate and believe and approve this message, and a lot are not. Either way, it's okay. Because I stand strong, I stand tall, and I stand firm on what I believe. And I believe that every race of people on the planet falls under this strategy of divide and conquer. We're divided, so therefore we're conquered. And I stand on that. To me, it's clear. Very clear. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And in the meantime, in between time, I love y'all. I'm out. Peace and love.